Right. Blessings, everybody out there in the universe. My name is Shawn Myrie, and I'm your host of the Down to Earth podcast. Today, I got a great guest on live with us, the one and only, a legendary person in the six, Canada for urban music, hip hop, whatever you want to call it. We got Friday Ricky Dred of We Love Hip Hop. Bless up, brother. What are you saying?
Respect. I'm good, man. I'm blessed, black, highly favored. Just out here, just trying to keep on building on this network right here and the whole culture, man.
And you've been doing it, man. Like other people ask you different questions, all types of questions, but I'm gonna get down to earth with it because
Mhm.
you're an artist yourself, right? Could you tell us about like the beginnings, like when you fell in love with hip hop? That's a question I hardly ask anybody. When did you fall in love with hip hop?
Wow. I'm gonna also put former artist, right? I'm retired
Yeah,
artist,
from artists.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm still
You're
using my
still an
artistic
artist because
means.
you create content. I consider that art.
Yeah, so I'm still an artist in that fact, but like as a musical artist,
Yeah.
I'm retired from that since 2017. But
Mm,
as far as like when I first fell in love with hip hop, and I'm definitely going to be aging myself at this point, is in
mm.
1984. Okay, um, I heard it could have been a little bit later on, but I heard LL Cool J Bad,
Mm.
right? And I was actually in Barbados at the time. I was just visiting some family, and I was watching the TV with just whatever. Like they had like 4 channels on the TV, and the music video for I'm Bad was playing, and he was jumping all over the room, and
Yeah.
forget Oreos, eat Cool J cookies. I'm Bad. I was like, yo, what is this? Like, because hip hop wasn't there wasn't like a word to it yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, look at this hip hop stuff, or look at this genre of music. I was just like, yo, what kind of music is this? And then after that,
Yeah.
I was hooked, fam.
So who was some of your favorites like growing up? Like
When I was a kid, I was like listening to Run DMC. I had the tougher than leather tape,
mhm.
and I also had the tape before that, right? The King of Rock tape.
Yeah.
Um, and I was listening to the Fat Boys. I had the Disorderlies tape back in the days, and I remember watching the Disorderlies movie and being like, "Yo, that's a big deal!" Like, you know what I mean? My favorite rappers are in a movie, and for people who don't know, like that was one of the first hip hop. Like they were the stars of the movie. That movie
Yeah.
Disorderlies with the Fat Boys, right?
Yeah, I remember that. Actually could remember that because I have two older brothers. You know.
Yeah. So like
Hmm.
back then, that was my early like hip hop beginnings, really getting into the music and the culture and like becoming a fan. And then like as like the late 80s started getting into to play, I started loving like Kwame. I had the polka dot shirts and the
Yeah.
the dye on the top of my high top. I had the top of my high top dyed blonde or red sometimes, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I, I I was there, I guess not in the beginning, but like before it got commercialized, right?
Okay. So like as time passed and you got older and you wanted to be an artist yourself, what made you want to like become an artist? I know you have the love for it, all like the music and the culture, but what made you want to step into the arena, as they call it?
Well, I used to spend a lot of time in New York City, right? I got the bulk, I would say like 70% of my family that moved from Barbados moved to New York,
Uh,
right? So I was always back and forth from the time I was a little kid. So a lot of my hip hop first, you know what I mean, break dancing, the first time I even picked up a pen to start rapping, I'm there in the Bronx with my cousins, or I'm in Brooklyn. So I would say New York had a heavy influence, just those trips. You know, I grew up in Montreal.
mhm.
The proximity from Montreal to New York on a drive, especially if you do a fast drive, you can get to New York in like 5 6 hours tops, 5 hours
Mhm.
if you like
I know.
blaze down the road from Montreal to New York, like, and you'll be in the city, not the outskirts of New York,
In
in
the
the
city.
city, right? So I feel like that connection, that back and forth, always seeing just all the different firsts that were happening over there. I would take
Mhm.
them and bring them back to Montreal and be like, y'all ain't up on this. You know what I'm saying? You never heard of this person. Like, I'd go buy the bootleg tapes on Fulton Avenue for $4 a tape. You know what I'm saying? And just get all of the rap tapes that I always wanted that maybe I can't afford. But yo, I didn't even know that they were bootlegs. I was just like, oh, they're only $4. Mom, can I have that one? You know what I'm saying?
So like then you wanted to like MC. That made you want to like start writing your own lyrics after like the love for it made you want to start doing the art form actually.
Yeah, like 89. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm hanging out with my cousins and we're just fucking around. You know what I'm saying? And the fucking around became more serious for me, where I started writing more rhymes, going back to Montreal. Got in and started doing a little rap crew with some of my guys from the neighborhood back over there. We had a crew called the Southside Crew, and that evolved into the Soldier Prophets because we were heavy on the conscious raps back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is 90,
Yeah.
right? So like Native Tongues was popular back then. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I was a big Tribe Called Quest fan. You know what I'm saying?
Diggable Planet.
Crazy Diggable Planets fan. Even like some of my peoples were like, I can't understand what they're talking about. But shit like that, I've always gravitated towards that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
So fast forward when you started to like get into the business, like how did you find yourself like beside like you want to be an artist, of course, but doing the business side of it? Because I know a little bit about your bio that you are a manager, you used to do events, like you're all in it, the culture. When we talk about the culture, we're talking about people who actually were in the streets, the background of it before the whole internet stuff. That's what people should realize. I know there's young people now, but Friday Ricky Dred and others who I've known, I remember in the streets with the flyers promoting themselves. Like, just tell me a little bit, like your experience coming from Montreal. And I'm not really sure when you left Montreal, but like that whole process.
Well, I left Montreal in 1997. Right, I got to Parkdale actually in over here in Toronto back in 97, and I came here to actually go to school to Harris Institute of the Arts, for the people who know about that school out here. Right, they're basically the rival to Trebas Institute over here. Okay, so I came down here to do the music marketing and management program that they had over there at Harris Institute, because my mind state was, okay, yes, I'm the rapper, but if I want to really get into this music industry, and besides being a rapper, I wanted to be a label owner too. Like I wanted to be the whole P Diddy, Master P, like, that was starting to become not as popular, but it was a little bit of a thing back then. Like, hey, yeah, like, oh, Master, or who was it? P Diddy got like 45 million from Arista, and all these different numbers are starting to pop up all over the place. So I was like, yo, it's more than just being a rapper. Let me learn about the business. So that's when I decided to move down here in 97, and I started going to school out here. But what ended up happening is I started seeing a lot of people who would come through to the school and do street team work, like the BMG street team, the Universal street team. They'd come around, they'd hand out flyers, put up poster boards. I started seeing that was a big thing over here in the city. So I got involved. You know what I'm saying? I started working on the street team for Warner Brothers street team, handing out flyers, putting up posters around the city on the strength for Warner Brothers, until eventually, like, I worked so hard that I ended up taking over the street team.
Oh, okay.
Right. So by 2000, I was a cross country street team leader that was taking contracts from Warner Brothers as well as Sony Music at the same time.
See, business. That's the music business. You keep going and going. So like your first, I know that you managed like some artists. Like, what was your most like I would say memorable time around those times before you started to do what you're doing now?
Well, I managed a bunch of different artists. Like, salute to Peter Bones. Right?
So,
I used to manage him back in the days. He was actually my first person I ever managed, to be honest. A lot of people don't know that, right? He was my first artist that I ever managed. And then I also managed a young lady named Black Pearl, who was down with a crew from Montreal called the Butter Babies.
Butter Babies.
And,
I remember that name, Butter Babies. I thought they were from Toronto, but they weren't.
No. They're from Montreal. A guy named Manchild and DJ Screw, right? I forget DJ. My bad.
Don't worry about it. Down to earth.
I managed Bones, Black Pearl, and then eventually I bucked up on the Empire crew.
Mm.
Okay? And then when I bucked up on those guys, I started managing one of their members named Scandalous.
Yeah.
Okay, aka Tony Ranks, battle rapper out here. He was crushing all the battles back in the days. This is like early 2000s, right? So their name already rang bells. The only thing that they needed was the direction, like somebody to get them in the studio on a constant basis. And that was a big crew right there. It was Atom Bomb, Scandalous, Trader Rhyme Animal, who's very popular for pushing the SARS movement, sick artist running shit.
Yeah.
Right? Toxic, Tech
know-
Man.
I know Toxic is a small world because when I was at an event, he was there all over my live freestyling. Toxic, yeah.
Is one of the sickest rappers in the city that people don't know from. You know what I'm saying? And Salute to Messiah also represent in Mississauga, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that crew together, as well as like 40, OVO 40, but before he was down with OVO, he was their main producer. So when I met these guys back in 2002, they were in a dusty ass apartment over there on Sherburne and Dundas, recording like into the Pro Tools, and 40 was just putting together beats and recording these guys. You know what I'm saying? Learning how to use the equipment himself, basically.
You see that? That's an example for like, like young artists coming up. What we're saying, like, we're started from the bottom for real. That's where they are right now. So like
that apartment was a cracked out apartment. I'm telling you.
I can imagine the burning they'll be doing there and all type of things, late night studio sessions and everything.
I'm not saying the apartment. I'm saying the building. Let me rephrase that. The building was it's Sherburne and Dundas.
Yeah.
Highest drug concentration area in the whole of Toronto.
Oh shit! Yeah, I see what you're saying. And back then too.
So man's would get it in on road, do some chops, come back inside, stay low, record some tunes. Like it was that kind of life. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm gonna ask you, because they call us like vets or old heads or whatever, but we remember the foundation even before like the circle. Like I'm talking Cardi, Choclair, Socrates, the list goes on, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, like those times, how was the atmosphere? A lot of the young artists don't understand how hard it was for artists to really get out there and promote themselves. You know what I mean? Like it was a struggle. Like 95? The time, 95. That's a good time to put it. 95. How the atmosphere for artists to come out, like they couldn't just come out with songs every day, basically.
Well, you had to, one, if you wanted to get noticed for the first time, people were making demos, right? So putting together 3-song demos, your 3 best songs, so that if you bump into the right person, take my tape or take my CD, and hopefully you like these songs in the demo, and then you can take me to the right people, so that now my music can get out there to the public. Because we didn't have social media, we didn't even have like websites that we could like upload from our laptops, or we didn't have laptops. You know what I'm saying? We weren't thinking them ways. We were literally doing physical promotion, right?
Yeah.
So it was a lot of going to radio stations, getting the DJs to play your music on the college radio stations, and then hopefully you can get onto commercial. Well, there was no commercial station. This is before Flow.
Well, Friday, I'm going to tell you a story how I found out about the Circle or Cardinal Official and all of them. It was actually in the Source, I think. Was it the Source? I was young, like I'm a little younger than you, but it was the Source. I seen an article there around a pool table. It was either the Source or Rap. Was it Rap Pages back then?
There was Rap Pages.
They're in one of them, and there was an article. I was saying, wait a minute, these guys are from here? As a young cat, I'm saying this make me proud. Yo, these guys are from Toronto, around a pool table. You see all of them. That was the beginning. I think that was 95.
So imagine 95. Like they got their notoriety because they worked hard, right? A lot of times people, I feel like sometimes people have they have something against the Circle. They feel like maybe they've held other people back from being able to get their success. But when you really think about how hard it was to get anybody to see you, period, back then, because of the amount of lengths that you had to go through to find the right person to physically give your music to?
Yeah.
How are they supposed to open the door for a whole bunch of other places or other people when like it's so hard for them to even get the door open and keep it open for themselves?
Yeah, you're right. It's true. That,
Like
yeah.
when we saw Cardinal on TV and Chaclair, like the first time I was living in Montreal when I first caught wind of the fact that there was a scene in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because we had much music, the national video music station. So
Yeah.
what I'm watching in Vancouver, what I'm watching in Montreal, somebody's watching in Vancouver and Toronto
Everywhere.
at the same time, and or whatever time zones. But that was the only way that we can see that,
And
oh shit, there's rappers out there. That's so sick. So now if you're on TV, in my mind, you're a fucking superstar, bro.
exactly.
When I saw On With the Show on Much Music,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, that's what Toronto looks like. Yo, I gotta move there. Like it was literally seeing like Father Time video and these different videos that used to play early on Much Music where I was like, these guys must be rich. They weren't.
Yeah. It's funny how you say that coming from Montreal, and now like you are part of Toronto fully. You cannot deny that. Part of
Yeah,
the what they say infrastructure. You're part
yeah,
of the
I
building
guess.
block. Part of the building block.
But we
I'm
used
just
to look from the outside, like, and they still look at Toronto from the outside in Montreal. Like that sentiment's still there, but it was way more when the only thing you can see is what is available on TV. So what
yeah.
got through whatever bunch of red tape that it takes, fam.
So now let's go on to Rap City. We had Rap
Mhm.
City. We're lucky we had something like Extend the Mix with Master T. I used to watch that a lot. And Rap
Yep.
City with Oliver, and they had a couple other people before. I remember there's a older cat. I forgot his name. I got his autograph back in the day.
Mhm.
Original Rap City. I don't know. I forgot his name. Sorry, but Rap City was
Christopher
big for the
Michaels.
culture. Hmm?
Christopher Michaels, you talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah, 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 yeah. Original, original. He had different shows. Was it a soul show too? I think he had, right?
Soul in the City.
Soul in the City. I got his autograph when I was young. I remember. He's like, it was big to me too, like what you're saying. I was at Caravana and I seen him. Got the autograph. I remember that. Now that we're talking about that.
Because fam, you got to think about it. Like to get on TV,
Yeah.
there's not like thousands of, it's not like the internet where you can see thousands and thousands and thousands of fucking influencers, non-influencers, just people you
Mhm.
follow, stars, athletes. You can just find all of them in your phone. On TV, it's what they're programmed onto the channel, what they're choosing to show you.
It's true. And that's why the internet, everybody's on it because you could go search for anything you want. There's no excuse, even when you're like, I ain't gonna fast forward straight up Friday. Now,
Mm,
since Toronto's been going through like the screw face era for a long time. If you're coming from Toronto, you have to be sharp. Like when they talk about Drake, they talk some people like who don't know hometown, they think it's like he comes from nothing. This place you have to
mm,
prove yourself. I know in Toronto, one thing, screw face capital. When you have shows and everything, my time, I'll age myself. I'm 40. I just turned 42, right?
mm-hmm.
I remember battles was a big thing in Toronto. That's a big thing of our culture. That's why they have the king of the dot.
Yeah.
People have to realize that. And when I said to you the other day, Bishop is brethrens with Drake, and
Mm-hmm.
Bishop is running that same thing, part of the culture. So,
Yeah.
what I'm gonna fast forward now, like how a lot of artists are coming out now more than ever. I can't even keep count. Do you think it's better now than back in the days, like the quality versus quantity? Because there's a more quantity than back in the days when you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Um, I think I get what the question is. Like, is it better now that there's a
Yeah, it's
whole
better now. Yeah, let me straight up. I'm
right?
blazing right now.
But is there a lack because there's so much access that
Yeah,
maybe the quality of the music is not
yeah,
as good?
exactly.
I There's a double-edged sword I have with that, right? Because yes, I feel that maybe some of the quality of some of a percentage of the music, let's say, has
Yeah,
gone down because the point of entry is way easier to become a rapper. You could just upload your music to SoundCloud or YouTube, and now if you do it 2-3 times in a row, you're a rapper.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Not even 2-3 times. You might not upload once. I'm a rapper now,
yeah,
right? Where it took way more before somebody could consider you a rapper back in the days. So
Mm-hmm.
I understand that. But the thing is, when it comes to Toronto, one thing I will rate is that we got way more authentic over the years.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that sounds like everything else, but a
Mm-hmm.
lot of these mans are super proud to flex their accents. You know what I'm saying? The
Yep.
accent is a thing. Like
Yep.
people are a thing. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like, and it's not only a thing for us. Like
Yes.
people from outside of Toronto. Like I can type in my keyword searcher Toronto, and Toronto man accent will be one of the
That's
hashtags that
good.
pop up.
That's good. That's true. That's true.
That means it's part of like the atmosphere now. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And that's not on us,
Mm-hmm.
because when I was rapping back in the days, and some of the people behind me and before, we were trying to do our best American rapper
Yeah, I
impression,
remember that. Yeah.
with the exception of Cardinal and them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Cardinal, period. I don't even say Cardinal and them. Cardinal. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else was trying to do their best, whoever their favorite American rapper impression is.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And when Dipset was hot and the mixtapes are hot and everybody was wearing the t-shirts down to our knees and we were doing this, we all did it too. The only difference is we had Blue Jays caps, but we fixed our mouth to be like, yo, what up, son? And we did all that dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? These little motherfuckers are not doing that, fam. They're like, yo, I'll go on with the man them, fam. Yo, don't get gurked, fam. Like they're embracing this shit. You know what I'm saying?
I
We
see.
didn't embrace it like that, fam.
Because even Drake puts it in his music, bits and pieces
Hell
now.
yeah.
So you know that
Yo,
it's
when
that big.
not to interrupt you, when Americans are talking about Drake, they
Yeah.
always like to be like, yo, Drake and the man them,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he
True.
made it that way.
It's true. It's true.
You know
So
what I'm
I'm
saying? He
gonna
made it.
ask you
We
now,
can be proud of ourselves. You know what
now
I'm
that we're
saying?
talking about like people. Well, it's the obvious elephant in the room. Drake is the one
Mhm.
who put the spotlight. Let's be straight up on the city, the
Yeah.
country. And I feel still, even though he has his flowers, he's still not getting. There's still some old heads, I would say, and I could say because I'm an old head who still
Hmm.
hate on Drake, right? But
Hmm.
what do you feel about that? Because he's influenced a lot of artists from here. He's brought light to like Weekend. Tory Lanez does his own thing, but he brought light to all these artists what I hear. And now
Yeah.
that the industry is what been watching and is watching even more. And what can this do for all the rest of the artists trying to make it through that market like Pressa and Doobie's gonna get there, Smiley's
Hmm.
there. You get what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like, I want to hear your opinions on that.
I think that Drake is like the ultimate influencer when it comes to hip hop culture, because he's not just the biggest rapper in Canada; he's the biggest rapper in the world.
World, you're right.
And the fact that he came from Canada is a big stunt because it helps out everybody else from here, right?
Hmm.
His stamp is so strong around the world that it makes it like, hey, let me see who else. If we can get this Canadian who's doing so much, what other Canadians
Yes,
do we got that we can get some money from, right?
exactly.
Like if we're just gonna look at it from a dollars and cents thing, like
Yeah,
this man is gotten so rich off of this American art form,
it's
off
true.
of this music thing, that if you're an exec over there, your greedy mind will not do anything but to go find another Drake over here, or at
Yes.
least somebody. There's got to be more than one person that got talent there.
Yeah.
So he made that possible. I'm never gonna take anything from Cardinal. Cardinal
Yeah.
helped open the door,
Hmm.
but they weren't ready for him yet. They weren't ready for the in-your-face Toronto man culture,
Yeah.
right? But when Drake came through, the plan that these guys put in place and the timing
Hmm.
made him the biggest rapper in the world. And then he started going with the Wagwan and the Mandems and all that. You know what I'm saying?
When we
Once
say
that,
biggest rapper, I could honestly say, and people can't debate this, I think one of the biggest artists in the world.
oh hell yeah,
Artists.
yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. But yeah, he's definitely one of the main reasons why a lot of or people check for us. Period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'll never deny that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's what's helping I feel helping the city and helping the culture. But I'm gonna ask you another question. What do you feel like artists got to do to get to that level right now, or close to that level? Because you see Pressa getting attention, and he's from from the dot. You're
Mhm.
seeing Smiley got picked up by Drake. So do you think it's gonna continue like that, or
I
it's gonna
think that
stop?
I don't think that Drake is the ultimate. And with all due respect to the men's, I don't think he's the only. He's the ultimate way of getting into the industry because the Weekend exists and other artists exist that are out of Canada who are
Mhm.
very very wealthy, like Tom McDonald. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Like Drake helps, but he can also overshadow you. Where it's like if you needed Drake to be the cosign to get you in the door,
Hmm.
then you're always going to be considered the Drake cosign.
Yeah. And
Keep
like
that in mind.
that's true. You're right. You don't want that. Not everybody wants the Drake cosign, but respect
Nobody
to
always
Drake.
just wants to have the shadow of I'm only here because of him,
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yep.
right? So my advice to artists is to keep building your infrastructure, keep building your business. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? Having Drake as the cosign is cool, but making it where like you guys bump into each other in the same rooms is even cooler. He co-signed you because he didn't have to bring you up. He co-signed you because he bumped into you on your way doing your whatever you're doing, and you're doing it so well that you're like, oh, I was at this industry party. He heard about me because I've been doing my shit so much, and he has his ear to the street that he's like, I'm locked into him because I need to see what's happening with that. You know what I'm saying?
Respect.
It's not a I can't wait for Drake to save me. It's more like, yo, I can't wait to bump into him when I'm doing my thing and I'm sitting
Yeah.
on a couple of M's.
That's some respect. That's like Presser, for example. I mean, he didn't get a cosign, and he's there. That's what
Tory,
he deserves. Yeah, Tory.
Tory, he didn't get a cosign. He wanted one so badly at one point in time that they even beefed. Don't get me wrong, them having their connection to each other helped him, but
Hmm.
Tory's talent, his drive, like the amount of moves that he made when he was down south before like people started really knowing who he was, the man put out a lot of music, fam.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Fact.
like he really earned his keep in the music industry. And then like the whole Drake and him making peace helped it even more.
Mm.
But he
Yeah,
was already fish grease hot by the time it was time to make peace with Drake.
you're right. Because when I got introduced to Tory, I thought he was American first.
There you go.
On YouTube, I seen his videos on YouTube. That I say this quality. I never really seen it from like the six. Like there's good videos, but not the quality he was coming with in the beginning. I thought he
Mhm.
was American. I'll be honest. And then I found out he was from Brampton or whatever, Canadian.
Yeah,
I was proud. I said, yo, I was in like a bandwagon, and so I was saying, yo, I'm even an older head. I'm saying this music is good. This guy has quality videos. He's
yeah,
gonna be big. He is gonna be big. And look, he's one of the biggest artists in the world right now. Now
yeah.
I'm gonna fast forward to now. What got you into like wanting to like get into this content game, like doing like journalism with the urban culture and everything, the
I think it was
podcast.
I
Sorry.
think it was kind of something that just evolved while podcasting happened. Now when I think about it, because when I first started podcasting, it was just like just chopping it up with the homies. You know what I'm saying? And if I can get a few guests to come in and we can chop it up with one of the homies that are of notoriety, then
Mhm.
even better. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't like, oh, let me find out this new story, let me break this, let me do that. You know what I'm saying? It was like we were just fucking around having fun,
Mhm.
right? And even the reason that started, and I've said it in mad podcasts, is just I was already making content to help enhance the music that I was making, help
Yeah.
people know more about me being a musician. And then as soon as I started podcasting, I quit doing music, or I retired from doing music. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? But we've been doing this for almost 6 years now. And I would say during the second year or so, we started really getting more deep into covering news stories. And
Hmm.
now, even like as we get into these last years that have passed, I started doing like just like those news story blurbs where I just get on the mic and don't even put up a video, just do a quick news story and put a couple of gifs and some video clips and whatever, just so that people can find out about information. Because I started finding out that people get their information from us.
Yep. Yeah. It's true.
I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? So once people told me like, fam, I don't watch CP24, I find out from you guys. I was like, okay, well, shit, maybe I should start doing more news stories. You know what I'm saying?
It's the urban news. That's what they're following it, right? Like they like
Yeah,
music and they don't want to hear all the time bad news. Even though there's bad news, you bring good news to the music people listen to. It's the art, right? And
yeah.
people are
Like
interested in because there's no much music like before. There's no um, Master T like before, so it went all digital online. There's all these pages now. There's all these bloggers now. There's all
mhm.
this media more than ever. So do you think this is a good thing now? Like more than ever because people talk about fake news too, and sometimes they accuse sometimes bloggers of spreading fake news.
I think it's all about the audience, right? The
Hmm.
audience can get as mad as they want about who's doing fake news, who's not. Is there oversaturation of this information? Period. But if you're a savvy audience member who knows where to get this truth from here, or like you watch different content pieces to get what stories you get every day. So I'll give you an example. Like if you watch the 6 o'clock news to catch a little bit of the news and some lies, but then you go up on social media and you're like, okay, this is what some other pieces of this story that I heard happening today.
Yeah,
You could do whatever you want to do to piece together what you think the truth is on every story.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because the bloggers could be sometimes doing fake news, but in the mainstream news, people don't believe what they're saying either, and people feel that they have an agenda.
it's
So
true.
then, basically, then we're all lying. Then
Yeah, it's true. It's reverse psychology now. That's what I like. My opinion. It's reverse psychology to like anything what you know. What's more like people say real is not going to be looked on taken seriously. You don't know what is real.
just ask questions.
You have to keep
You know
doing.
what
You have to
I'm
do
saying?
research. Yeah, ask questions, research, right?
Yeah. Like if you see a post on Instagram and it says, this person got shot and got his chain taken. Okay. Not only just look at the post and be like, okay, this is what I believe, and then go along and go tell somebody
Yeah,
else, hey, guess what? This person got shot and got.
yeah,
No. Where's the source?
yeah.
Read the caption. If there's no source in the caption, then go do a Google on this person's name and see if you can
Yeah.
find an article on it.
Yes.
And then read the fucking article. Don't be like, oh, I found an article. It's true. What does it say inside of the article? Not the first two lines, the whole article. This is
It's
the
true.
problem with a lot of people. They don't want to do their research. They'll believe the headline and then they're gone with their information going to tell their friend.
I know. That's then it turns into fake news.
Then it turns into fake news because even the true story that you got off the
Yeah.
headline, you didn't even take it in properly before you went and said it to somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Broken telephone.
So what do you think about streaming, the streaming business right now because it's still new, right?
Mm.
Versus like radio, old fashioned radio for artists. Like I know streaming, you could make money, but it depends on how you organize yourself. What do you
Yes.
think about the streaming? Because I know about the streaming. I don't know if a lot of artists know about the streaming and educate themselves about like the music industry really. Like what's your opinion on that? Like artists right now, especially right now with the education of the music industry to know what to do to make money.
I think it's the best time right now for any artist who's really serious about making music to make money off of their music. Okay. They haven't completely figured out all of the streaming like parameters as far as like what they're going to be paying out artists and what, but they're getting better at it than they were back in 2000 and
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When like we had to download a song to be able to make money off of it. So
Yeah.
now like I just transferred some money off of my TuneCore into my bank account the other day. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So like imagine I was literally a real artist putting out music every week or every 2 weeks, whether it's audio or videos, and like getting at least 50,000 views and 30 to 50,000 or 100,000 streams on all the different platforms. That's money in the bank.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's enough money that if you were working a 9 to 5,
Hmm.
that would be the equivalent of that. You know what I'm saying? If you're just doing like the underground guys streams. So now let's say you're the guy who's still an underground guy, but like you get 2 million, 3 million streams every time you put out music.
Mhm.
Fam, now you're eating kind of nice. If you're not greedy, fam, you could stop there
Yeah,
and
you're
not
right.
have to be the most famous artist in the world. You know what I'm saying?
It's true. It's
Enough
true.
people know you that they'll book you for shows. You fill out a place that has like 600, 800 people. Somebody gives you a nice 2 racks, 3 racks every time you come outside. And then you just rinse and repeat that like every month, fam. You literally live off of just being an artist. And the only thing you have to do is keep on adding fuel to the fire out of your brain, fam.
Yeah, and promote it. Right, invest in it, invest, and then promote it, and that's even better. Um, I'm gonna ask you because this podcasting, a lot of people I see doing podcasting more than ever. Right,
Yeah.
the definition of podcasting, which I know, and I heard you say it many times, but I feel a lot of people are getting confused with webcasts. Like
Mm-hmm.
they say they have a podcast, but they don't have a link, an audio link to like an audio platform where you could listen. Like I want you to like tell the people what's the definition of a podcast, because you could have visual, which is good now, but it's originally audio platform.
Yeah. It's an audio experience. What I'm pulling up on my phone right now is, and like you probably won't be able to see because of the glare,
Yeah, yeah,
but it's the iTunes podcast app. Okay.
yeah,
This is the original podcast. Okay. And iTunes already put it in our phones from the time that the iPhone was created and they started, and the little purple app was there. Okay.
yeah,
Because you were able to carry your whatchamacallit, your broadcast
yeah,
in a pod. You get it?
yeah. That's why it's Apple Podcast is the original, and
They're
now
the
they have
original,
others. They have the others, but that's the original, the pod.
right? So back then, when the first podcasts were created, the only thing that people were able to do is just listen to people have conversations about stuff, or whether it's like a series that just did audios on serial killers or whatever. It was just an audio experience. You know what I'm saying? Equivalent to like what people are doing now with Audible.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? When you're listening to an audio book, it's
Yeah,
technically kind of like a podcast.
yeah. It's a podcast.
You know
It's
what
a
I'm saying?
podcast.
It's just over the years, and it's not even more recently, but like say 2013, 14, in that time of YouTube, when YouTube was still the wild, wild west as well, podcasters started doing videos for their podcast.
Yeah,
Even like the Breakfast Club, which is technically a radio show, but they get put in the
yeah,
podcast category because you can find them later on an app.
yeah,
They only started putting out videos in 2013.
yeah. Recently.
You know what I'm saying? So, but they had interviews prior to that with big people that they didn't have videos on their YouTube for.
Yeah,
But then people started noticing the power of YouTube and the ad program and different things like that. So then podcasters started saying, hey, why don't I put a camera in here and started filming my podcast as well as having the audio and put it up
Mhm.
on YouTube. And now I could actually get some money outside of the advertisers.
yeah,
Because you also got to understand, with podcasting, you could stream a 2-hour podcast. And this is good that we're talking about this, because we just talked about streaming and how artists can make money off of streams.
yeah,
Okay. The shit don't go the same for a podcaster, fam. So we put out 2 audios a week. Every one of them is at least half an hour, sometimes 3
Yeah.
hours long. Okay. We're not making money per stream.
You're right. You're not making money per stream.
And these niggas' songs is a minute and a half and they're getting
Yeah.
money off of this shit.
Yeah, it's only like 2-3 minutes. You're getting the money off of it. So I'm
I'm
guessing the
putting out a
podcast.
3-hour pod, and if I don't have advertisers or advertising reads to do in my pod,
Mhm.
I'm not making money off the audio. I gotta do a video.
You're right. You're right. You have to do a video because the video is what's going to push the audio. The video is like that's what it is, a visual age. It's a big visual age right now.
The audio listeners actually, some of them intersect, some of them cross over, but our audio listeners are just people who are pure podcast purists. They're just going to listen to an audio. They've got their information, what they wanted from that, and their entertainment, and they're gone on their way. They may circle back around and watch the video,
Mhm.
but they already got what they wanted. They listened to the podcast,
Yeah.
right? there's a different type of podcast audience out there that
It's
just
true.
wants to watch videos. They can't. They don't have the attention span to listen to a 3 hour podcast in their earpods and shit, right?
Yeah.
So they rather watch the video. So with podcasters becoming on video, that helped for audiences to grow. But what also started happening is that the word started getting misconstrued.
Hmm.
So when people just put up a video, they're like, I got a podcast. If there's no audio, nigga, you don't got a podcast.
It's true. From the beginning, I put audio when I started. I knew that. From the
Right?
beginning, I would take the audio from the video, and that's how you got to do it. If you want people to take you serious, that's my opinion. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
And it's not a
ask.
disrespect. It's just maybe you're just misconstruing the word because the word has become just so willy nilly.
Popular.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like when I'm saying to the people who just have videos out there, or they just might put up an Instagram and their Instagram live, they're like the so and so podcast. No, that's not a podcast, but it's fine because maybe you got the information wrong too. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. You have to
So
have audio. That's all I know. Some
yeah.
form of separation because there's an audio audience. Like I want
Mhm.
to ask you now, what do you feel Toronto needs to do to really? Do you feel Toronto has the respect now from the music industry, like fully right now? Like, what's next? We had Rolling Loud come here. We having all these different like companies coming here. Like they're investing in the city.
Mhm.
Do you think we're going a good way right now, or there's like still need more like unity in the community?
I think we definitely always need more unity. And if they see that we're so able to we're already able to get to our own bag, it's going to make the process faster as far as the American and international investors, because that's all we're looking for is more
Yeah,
investors. Like, let's be real, we're just looking for more investors or people who can get us to bigger audiences. As far as like if you're a Toronto rapper or somebody, you
yeah,
know what I'm saying? You just want a bigger audience. You technically, like, just to speak from a former Toronto rapper, if your audience comes from the UK or the States, you want that States because the validation feels cooler too.
yeah.
You just want more because there's only a certain amount of people who are going to be able to tune into your music from here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I think that we're in a great position because we're one of the top world-class cities.
yeah,
So you have to have a Rolling Loud here. You have to do all these different things here. And with that being said, the Americans know about us.
yeah.
They fuck with us up here. Maybe some of the artists might not feel it as much, but I talk to people behind the scenes who are always like, yo, Toronto, that scene is so lit. Da, 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 da. Like, they know that we have a scene. There's American cities that are jealous of what's going on up here.
That's true. That's true. Facts.
You know what I'm saying? If you're not New York, LA, or one of these other places, you could kind of look at Toronto and be like, damn, we need to get our shit more popping. Like, we got mad blog pages. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least 10 different rappers that everybody knows about. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. We have Justin Bieber from Ontario, like it or not, Canada.
Yeah, we have the upper epsilon parts too. So besides like the presses and the smileys and all the
Yeah.
top fives and all these different
Yep.
characters that we all know about, and outside people can make videos about and get millions of views. Because think about that too. A UK blogger can make a video about a Toronto man and get millions of views. American, same thing. Like, that means we got it.
Yeah, we got it.
Recognize that we have it, fam.
Yeah, it's true.
Trap
Facts.
Geek has a video, even if it's a negative circumstance. Trap Geek has 2 videos, one on Toronto artists, one on Young Lava when he was on the run, and one on Casper and K Money. Both of those videos are sitting at millions of views. Yes, it's negative circumstances, but
Yeah.
people want to know.
Yeah, it's true. That's media. It's just the controversy now. It's like they say, oh, a lot of this music is like negative music. You're hearing, like, for example, I'll tell you in Jamaica, recently the news came out that they're trying to ban, I don't know if they banned it, gun and crime lyrics
Yeah, and television shows.
and television shows. So that's like freedom of speech, kind of. You going into that type of waters. What do you think
Yep.
of that if that was to happen, like here? Because I know in that UK they took videos off from drill
Yeah.
rappers from down
Yes.
there. And do you think that's gonna happen here?
I don't think it's going to happen here. I don't think that our crime rate is really at the level where, like, it's getting there. Don't get me wrong. It's gets bad out here. You know what I'm saying? And we definitely have a gun problem. But I think the money outweighs the problem. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? When it comes to our government, at least.
Yeah,
You know, I know that Trudeau has a bill that's been like coming down the pipeline that's going to be censoring the internet a little bit more when it comes to Canadians. So we have to be aware that that's coming down the pipeline too. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? I think the bill is already passed. I think it's called BC Bill C61,
yeah.
right? I'm not sure. You know what I mean? So don't come from my head
No,
top,
no,
guys.
no, no,
Don't be
no,
getting
no.
me wrong.
I think I
But
heard
like,
what you're saying though. I heard of something like that.
right? So there will be some censorship, and it has happened with a few artists. Okay, remember Rolex Hami's Avengers Cave video came down.
Hmm.
Okay, also that reptilian video came down. I forget the name of the gentleman. My bad, guys. But those guys, their video came down too. Some downtown mans.
Yeah,
Okay, and niggas had to repost it like over and over again. Not them, so they're not even getting to benefit off of their tune.
yeah,
But the city ain't having that shit. So like, we still have to be aware.
yeah. Because they have done it even in New York, in America. I'm hearing
Yeah,
they're like trying to clamp down on that. Like all that drill stuff is not really popular to the politicians. I'm hearing that it's similar like the UK now, even in Jamaica, because it's some. You get what I mean? Like, is
yeah,
it gonna be?
yeah.
Is that influence gonna hit here? Because it's hitting all those three places where the
It's all
music
about
goes.
YouTube in the end of the day, fam. Like, if YouTube will allow the government to do it, then now we have to be aware.
Yeah,
Because as a YouTuber, I've always been dealing with community guidelines and the way that they change over the years, and videos that get monetized and what don't, and then how that changes now. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doubling back, looking at videos that are like behind the age wall. On like, we have 18 and over videos on the We Love Hip Hop channel, bro. Multiple.
yeah,
We're not doing adult videos. We're
yeah.
just
You have to do
podcasting,
it.
my G.
Yeah,
But
that's how it is.
YouTube doubled back and decided, okay, our community guidelines are this. So for some reason, they're like, this is an 18 and over video all of a sudden.
Mm,
Like our Young Lava interview that I
yeah,
just mentioned. Young Lava's interview was behind an age wall, but it's because the community guidelines,
yeah,
they moved the goalpost. So if they're gonna move the goalpost, we all as creators, whether we're music or making content,
mm,
always have to make sure to be like, okay, these niggas in Jamaica, they can't fucking say certain things. They have to update the slang now. So if they want to get their shit off, they gotta slide it under like how they were before, because now everybody's hip to what the slang is. Okay, you
yeah.
can't use those words anymore. That's
It's
all I
really
think.
gonna
That's
change the creativity. It's gonna change creativity. How they promote. You can't even. That goes to visual too. I'm guessing like YouTube broadcasting from Jamaica. You can't. They can't broadcast videos from there, but it'll be like over here we could see them. I'm guessing it'll be like that. They only could promote over like here. It's gonna be interesting. That's why I had to bring that to you because as a content creator,
yeah.
you know.
We have to get more tech savvy as we grow in the future, fam. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to use VPNs. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Virtual private networks, so that you can, like, if you're a Jamaican artist and you still want to get your shit off, then use an American VPN and
Yeah.
upload to YouTube in the States through your VPN.
That's why
There,
they will
there's
have
some game. You know what I'm saying?
But yo, man, it was like a pleasure of chopping it up with you. Like, it's so
Likewise.
much more because as a podcaster, I could keep going and going. You know, this is the sport, right?
No, for
But
sure,
like
for sure.
quality, I like quality, instead of quantity. But like anything else you want to tell like the universe before we come off the spaceship where they could connect with you, like we love hip hop. Everybody, it's ridiculous for me to say this, but we love hip hop and what's coming up next for you, brother.
I want to salute the team, man. Salute the expansion of the team too, man. Like the same and the regulars like PK Herc, you know what I mean? Foundation holding it down from day one. Salute to Empress, salute to Raheel, You know what I'm saying? But also salute to Dusty Wallace, who's brought
Yeah.
some value to the network right now. You know what I mean? Co-hosting with me on the lives and some of the episodes. Salute to Alex ABG, or Alex getting always getting bands over there in Montreal. We're starting a series out there called Montreal Connects, where he's dealing with a lot of the different
It's good.
Montreal artists, and he's going to start doing more interviews. He has the A1 Gento interview available on our channel right now. So we're
Mhm.
we're gonna be seeing him give us all the Montreal content. Okay. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Zetti's Hot Plates. Salute to Zetti's Hot Plates.
So
Okay. You're gonna be seeing Zetti's get a cooking show pop up on the network just now.
yeah, I want to see that, yo.
Okay.
But yo,
I'll let that out the bag right now.
like it's crazy. I was saying like this is what we need: unity. This is what I'm trying to show people. Right? An
Mhm.
example, like Toronto's been too much screwface capital too long, and that's why I had to connect with you because a lot of people seen certain things in the past, and we got to show people as old heads, if they want to call us, that we could connect and do things positive because the negativity is not going to get no one anywhere.
That's a
You know
fact.
what I mean? We need unity. A long time we've been seeing the screw face stuff, and you can't continue it if you want to
Yeah.
be like successful. You get what I mean? There's enough for everybody out here. You get what I mean?
Yeah, man.
So,
And I also want to say, like, even with us, right? We've had our issues in the past.
mm,
I I I could be like the type of person who, like, I feel that this city loves to hold on to beef,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So like I could be like, you know what? When we had our issues, and then like, when you reached out to me and whatever, I could have been like, yo, fuck that. It's on forever. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
But like, fam, I've lived through street life. You know what I'm saying? I've had fucking guns put in my face. I've dealt
mm,
with real circumstances. So to me, content is never something where
yeah.
it's like real beef,
Real beef.
right? So it's easy for me to squash content shit. It's
Mm,
hard for me to squash a nigga who fucking took my stash and put a gun in my face.
yeah,
You feel me?
yeah,
That's a whole different type of level of shit. So I take real life circumstances way more to heart than like stuff that happens, because we're getting to talk on microphones, fam, and people pay attention to what the fuck we say. That's a
yeah,
blessing in the first place.
yeah. It is a blessing. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So I can never be like, yo, it's on forever. So I say that to say anybody who has any issues with us making peace, y'all need to
mm,
make peace with yourselves.
facts.
You know what I'm saying? Because none of us, all of us come from the circumstances. There's not
Yeah,
none of the people who I know in the podcast game, with the exception of a couple, who haven't had to deal with real street circumstances. So
hmm,
always keep that in mind when you think about what beef you want to continue when it comes to like the content shit. Like we've
yeah,
really had real issues before, fam. Like
yeah,
outside of this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? In our own lives. You feel me?
hmm,
Like I've had to worry about getting shanked on range more than I have to fucking worry about what I say on a goddamn microphone, my G.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's to show you the energy a lot of people like. Because I remember around that time, that's the most traffic you're seeing in the stories.
Yeah.
Interesting who's watching. Everybody loves it. Trust me. If I was, that's part two. That's part two.
But like
But it,
people who love it have probably dealt with real circumstances. So
mhm,
like, why would you want to hold on to content shit when we know we all had fucking worse circumstances than this? We've been disrespected or had to like, fam, I've
yeah,
robbed niggas have robbed me. Like, come on, fam. Like, I've been in the streets. Like, anything from content is like water off my back, fam.
mm.
You feel me?
You see, hear that? Friday Ricky Dred, man. Yo, bringing that fire down to earth with We Love Hip Hop host. Yo, much respect, man, for coming through. Much respect.
Mhm.
Friday Ricky Dred, We Love Hip Hop. Yo, we're gonna chop it up again, man. We gotta keep this
Yes,
going.
sir.
You get what I mean? Connecting.
Anytime, man. This is good.
Yeah, bless up. Let me try to subscribe, follow We Love Hip Hop. Friday Ricky Dred, bless up.
Bless. I can log out from right here.
Yeah.